Hey everyone, happy Friday. It's Jessica Rhodes, the founder of Interview Connections. If you're here watching the replay, please comment #replay so I can come back and say hello. Today, we are going to talk about a very important topic, which is the one thing that is likely missing in your brand awareness strategy. Okay, so I'm just starting to binge through Alex Hormozi's podcast, The Game. It's very good, super, super valuable. And in one of his most recent episodes, he's giving brutally honest business rules from 13 years of business or something like that. The title is something like that. And he's talking about brand and what actually makes a brand. And I'm paraphrasing, but I heard it this morning, so it's pretty close. So there's 3 parts of building your brand. There's you talking about your business, there's other people talking about your business, and then there's your clients talking about your business from their direct experience. And most business owners have number 1 and number 3. They're talking about their business and they have their clients talking about their experience because they're getting referrals. So their clients, they're like, I've grown through word of mouth and referrals. My clients are out there telling people they had a great experience with me. So that's how I'm getting new leads and new clients. And then I'm talking about me. I'm posting on LinkedIn. I'm marketing my business. I'm sending emails. So it's them talking about their business and it's their clients that are talking about their business and sharing their experience. But what a lot of business owners are missing from the brand awareness strategy is other people talking about their business. They're missing other people edifying them, other people saying, I haven't worked with them, but I trust them so much from what I know about them and what I hear about them and what I see on social media and what I read in their emails and what I see in their videos. That is the third piece that so many business owners are missing from their brand awareness strategy. It's having such a strong brand that even if somebody hasn't been your client directly, they have such a high opinion of you and your business that they are talking about you as well. And that's where you get even more referrals and even more people edifying you and even more people talking about you. So that leads are coming and you're getting referrals from people you've never even met before. So how do you get other people talking about you if they haven't worked with you? And you're like, okay, I'm generating, I have a 6-figure business. I'm getting leads and referrals from my clients and I'm promoting my business. I'm telling everyone that I have a great offer and that, I'm providing value, but you don't have other people who haven't worked directly with you talking about you. How do you get that third piece? Podcast appearances. Podcast appearances are the easiest way to get the third piece of that brand awareness strategy. Other people talking about you, because when you go on a podcast, the host is going to edify you. The host is bringing you onto their podcast because they know that you have value for their audience. The host may never have been your client, but they see value in what you teach. They see value in your stories that you can share with their audience. And so they bring you on and they tell their audience, like, Jessica has so much value. She invented the podcast guesting industry. She's been doing this for 13 years. She's booked over 30,000 interviews. I say those same things about myself, but suddenly when the host says it about me, the listeners believe it more because everyone's going to say they're great and what their experience is and why they have value. But as soon as somebody else says it about them, especially when somebody is a host and has an audience and they haven't even been a client yet, but they're like, my trust is so high that even though I haven't been a client yet, I am here to tell you if you need their service, you should go work with them. That is a really, really strong brand. So by going on podcasts, you are now building up an audience of people who know you, who trust you, who have gotten value from you and haven't yet paid you. And when you do podcast appearances really consistently and you do a great job and you provide value and you're building and deepening relationships with podcast hosts and listeners alike, you are getting leads and referrals from people you've never met before. That happens to me because we do a lot of podcast appearances. I'll get a lead and they're like, yeah, so-and-so told me all about you. She told our whole mastermind group. And I'm like, wow, I've never met that person. I don't know who they are, but wow, do they trust me in Interview Connections. That's pretty awesome. And so we've built our brand. We've put so much into building our brand and providing so much value and building relationships with podcast hosts and other leaders in business, such that even if somebody hasn't worked with us, they are willing to risk their reputation by referring. And I say that because when somebody, and Alex talks about this in his podcast I just listened to, but this is common knowledge, when somebody refers business to you, if that person has a bad experience, the person that referred them, their reputation is on the line. So people are willing, like if they feel so strongly about you and your offer, that even if they haven't personally experienced it, they're willing to refer you. That means you have a very, very strong brand. So again, the 3 parts of your brand awareness strategy that that is what Alex Hormozi talked about in his podcast, The Game, that I was listening to this morning, is you talking about your business. And so you're doing that. If you're marketing your business, you're doing social media posts, you're out there talking about your business. You're telling people that you have value and that you have a great service and that you're a great coach, and whatever you do, you're talking about your business. That's good. And then you have your clients. You get clients and they have a great experience and they say, hey, I've worked with this person, I've worked with this company, they do a great job, you should work with them. Great. The third piece that so many business owners don't have because they don't have enough visibility is other people talking about their business who haven't been a client yet, and other people edifying them who haven't been a client yet. And the easiest way to get that third piece is to go be a guest on podcasts every single month, multiple interviews a month, multiple podcasts a month. Every single host who is introducing you to their audience is edifying you. They are telling the audience, listeners, I have a treat for you. This next guest that I'm bringing on has so much experience. They have so much value. They're going to help you solve problems. They're going to inspire you. Like, they are edifying you. They are setting you up for success. They are telling their audience before you have even said a word how much value you have for them. That host may never have been your client before, but they are now telling their audience that you are valuable and that you're an expert and that you have answers to their problems. So if you don't have other people who haven't been a client referring people to you, talking about you, get booked on podcasts. Go be a guest on podcasts. It's the easiest way to have other leaders in business start edifying you and talking about you and promoting you to their audience. So again, you might be talking about your own business. Great, you should be doing that. You might have clients referring people to you. Great, that means you do a good job. But do you have other people who haven't been your client and maybe don't even know you personally yet, telling people that you are the real deal? Podcast appearances are the easiest way to add that third piece of the puzzle into your brand awareness strategy. And we can get you booked. Interview Connections has been booking entrepreneurs on podcasts for over a decade. We are specialists. This is what we eat, sleep, breathe. Podcast guesting is what we know at the deepest level because it's all we do. Some people ask, well, do you also do PR and do you also create content and can you also produce my podcast? No. That's not what we spend our effort on and our energy on. Our 100% priority and focus is you leveraging podcast appearances in your business. So we get you booked. Our minimum engagement is 30 interviews. We coach you on the strategies for monetizing. We listen to your interviews. We give you personalized feedback and coaching. We've been doing it for over a decade and we can help you. So go to interviewconnections.com and book a consultation call with me. Let's add that third piece of the puzzle into your brand awareness strategy. Let's get other people who haven't yet been your client edifying you, talking about you, promoting you to their audience, because there's so much power when somebody believes in your business so much, even though they haven't worked with you yet, that they're going to refer their whole audience to you. People trust those referrals so much. You leave such an imprint on people when they hear you on a podcast, they hear you edified by a host that has brought you on. So you need these three pieces of the puzzle to have an incredibly strong brand awareness strategy. You need to be talking about your own business. Your client should be referring to you. If you're doing a great job, you'll have clients saying, yeah, I worked with them. I worked with that coach. She really helped me. They really did a good job. He was great. And then when you have the third piece, that's where you have a really bulletproof brand. Other people talking about you who haven't worked with you yet. Other people edifying you who haven't been your client yet. That is going to make your brand awareness strategy 10 times more effective. And podcast appearances are the easiest way to get that third piece of the puzzle. Be a guest on podcasts, and now you're going to have every host who brings you onto their show is now talking about you, telling their audience how incredible you are, asking you questions, giving you the stage is the best strategy in the world for growing brand awareness, for being edified, for building your credibility, for social proof, for positioning, for speaking, for generating leads, for creating thought leadership content. Podcast appearances give you all of this and, quite frankly, so much more. So add podcast appearances into your marketing strategy. You will be so blown away by all of the benefits that come from it when you implement it effectively. So you can't do the bare minimum, do a few interviews and say, well, Jessica, it didn't work. You said it was going to do all this, but I only did 10 interviews. You can't do it half-assed, and you can't do the bare minimum. You've got to go all in. Work with us, get the coaching, implement the coaching, and stay the course. The timeline at which you'll get results and what those results look like are going to depend and be contingent on where you're starting from, right? So we have got clients that they've generated, our client Jonathan Porter Wisman, he attributes 9 figures to podcast appearances from a round of 30 bookings that he invested in. Well, he's a serial entrepreneur, founded multiple companies. He started much further along than someone that, has barely hit 6 figures for the first time in their business. There is value for all entrepreneurs in podcast appearances, but the results and the benefits that you're going to get and the timeline at which you get them are going to depend on where you're starting. So you may spend that first round really honing your message, building up relationships, really getting clear on how to get podcast hosts to edify you correctly. Like really, what aspects of your story do listeners need to hear to get the instant yes? It might take a little bit of tweaking in, this is the thing that people really want to hear. Our client Jonathan was telling us that, one of the topics on his one sheet, every host gravitates to that. Every host wants to ask him about the emotional journey of exiting your company. Like that's just a topic that everyone's curious about. So that informs the strategy. It informs what we should be pitching. It informs what people really want to learn about. And so for some entrepreneurs, it's really about honing in your message and getting really clear on what people want to hear. And then for others, it's just putting a little bit of gas on the fire that's already burning. So again, the brand awareness strategy has 3 parts. It's you talking about your business. You need to be talking about your business, posting on social media, doing emails, sending texts. Like you should be shouting from the rooftops your business and what you do and how you can help people. And then it's your clients. So when you offer a great service, you do a great job, you produce results, your clients will say, hey, yeah, I had a great experience and you should go work with them too. And then the third part that so many people don't have is other people talking about your business who haven't been your client. And they will do that when they know your brand so well. They've gotten so much value from your content. They've heard so many other people, so many of your clients talking about you that they're now willing to promote you to their audience as well. And if you don't have people who haven't yet worked with you talking about you and referring people to you and edifying you, then podcast appearances are a really easy way to get that third piece. Because when you go on podcasts, you have hosts edifying you. You have hosts talking about you. You have the host saying, this is an amazing episode of my show. It's the most downloaded episode of my podcast. It's with Jessica Rhodes. It's, XYZ, ABC. Podcast hosts will edify you, and then people listen to them talking about you. And so now you have all these people in the world on the internet referring to you. And so now you start getting leads and referrals from people you've never met before. That's how you know you have a really strong brand. When you're talking about your business, your clients are talking about your business, and other people are talking about your business who have never even worked with you before, but they've gotten so much value from you publicly that they're willing to refer people to you, and they're willing to talk about you and share your content and all of the things. So those are the 3 parts of an effective brand awareness strategy, inspired by Alex Hormozi, his podcast episode, The Game, that I listened to this morning. I hope that was helpful. If you need help getting booked on podcasts, go to interviewconnections.com. We would love to support you. We've got a summer sale with some discounts and bonuses. So now is a great time to get started. It's the second half of 2024. So if you need visibility this year into the new year, it's time to take action and get started. So go to interviewconnections.com to book a call, and I would love to talk to you. Bye.